Welcome back, guys. GhettoRig episode 175. I do have a friend of mine as a guest, but before we go into that, very quickly, I'm going to go over a couple of the sponsors. We got UFC Gym, Largo, St. Pete and Pinellas Park and Largo. Then we have Vitality. Now that that's out of the way, Largo is about to open, guys. The 28th is the day. Food trucks, cars and coffee, supercars, so on and so forth. And the gym is going to be open. You want to come see us in person? We'll be there. Anyway,
Wait, before you pass that, do keep in mind there's a storm coming this weekend.
yeah.
So that grand opening may or may not have. I mean, more than sure that by Saturday, all good. I mean, the storm's supposed to be gone by what, Friday afternoon, I think
Yes.
is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But you never know. Whatever happens. But yeah, keep that in mind.
Yep. Other than that, without further ado, friend of mine, Kevin Asai. So this has been a long time. I've known Kevin. And it's been in the martial arts world for a minute now. And I don't want to take his thunder away, so I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Oh, you're good, bro.
Yeah.
I don't need no introduction, man.
Everyone knows me.
This is my podcast now.
Yeah.
Look at me, I'm the captain now.
I am the captain now. But thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, thank you for coming, man. Appreciate it.
Like you said, I've known you for quite a while. Back in your valet days.
Thanks, Zach.
And it's just funny how things just merge and go back and forth. And now we're jiu-jitsu practitioners at the same gym.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Kevin, can you go a little bit more in your story? Because you didn't start with jiu-jitsu, right? It started way long ago when you were rolling wine bottles on your shins. How did that come about?
Yeah, so man, I liked UFC 1. Like UFC from the very beginning grasped me.
Yeah.
Actually, no, it started before that. I like boxing. Boxing
Okay.
was like my first love. Roy Jones Jr., Tommy Earns, like I love just like I would watch the same videos every
And
single
you
day.
just called him old?
No, I was shocked by his age. I wasn't calling him old, but if you want to go there.
So I call him old all the time.
But yeah, I mean, I just went from loving boxing.
It's smoking and drinking. That's what keeps me young. Yeah.
Keeps the stress away. No kids either, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I think that's the one.
I'm aging quick over here. Hairline went straight back. But
Yeah. So you started with boxing first. That was your love.
yeah, that was my first love where I was like, man, I would just watch those videos, Tyson, all of them, and even as a kid, I just wanted to get in there and I wanted to be him.
Yeah.
And by the time I got into a boxing gym, I mean, this area has a lot of really good boxing, believe it or not, but it's really hard to get into that scene. So from doing that, dude, I got into it with all the wrestlers at high school.
Yeah.
You know, wrestling's better.
Yeah.
And I just think down the line through my mutual friends, we just decided MMA is the way to go.
Right. Which we all know nowadays that is the way to go.
It is the way to go.
So did you train like a traditional boxing gym at a certain time and then move to martial arts? How did that go?
So like I worked, like I started working early. So my job eventually like would not allow me to train, but I went to 4th Street Boxing, signed up in there
Okay.
thinking that like I was going to walk in there and just start boxing.
Yeah.
And I was in there and I was a lost puppy. There's just so much going on. You got like pros in the ring getting ready for fights, and then you got, you know, little pipsqueak me just like punching bags and just watching people in the gym and
How old
trying.
were you now? You said.
I was like 16, 17
Okay.
at that
Okay.
point, somewhere around that age. Yeah. And then like my work schedule wouldn't allow it, and by the time a few years later, um my buddy, one of my good friends I made in high school, he was a really good wrestler. He was graduating, and I kind of said, you know, F this. I'm not going to let my job hold me back from something I like anymore. And him and I signed up for an MMA gym.
So
Okay.
look, Zach said that boxing doesn't work. I heard that one time.
Is that Thacker's in here?
Yeah.
What up, Thacker? Boxing doesn't work. Yeah. Zach Thacker has proved over and over again that boxing will not work if you pull guard. So, shout out to you.
Oh shit. And so from training boxing, did you ever compete? Go to any competition and fight amateur, anything like that?
For MMA, yeah. I had a
MMA, yes.
handful.
Okay.
Yeah. Most of them back in that time, it wasn't like even amateur was illegal in most states.
Right.
So we would have to travel. Like, so if our team was fighting, we'd have to fill up a fight card with X amount of fighters, and then we'd have to go to like New Orleans, or I think Cincinnati was really laid back, and I think Alabama was laid back.
Okay.
I was on one of the first Florida fight cards for amateurs up in Ybor, and that was like unfortunately the last MMA fight I had. But,
Okay.
Do you want to talk about this or not?
yeah, I'm open book, bro. I don't care. I mean, it was just like it was just a shitty. Can I cuss on here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever you want.
It was just I didn't know if we got kids up in here, but it is 9:30. Y'all should be asleep. But,
Yeah, we put on the suggested for adults. All right, not made for children tag on this pod. All
put
right.
the Kevin uncensored. But yeah,
Appreciate it.
I mean, simple story was I got effed up. I mean, I went in there. The guy kept asking me to touch gloves. I made a mistake. I showed too much sportsmanship. When I went to touch his glove, he shot in on me. When we went to the ground. I tried to like sweep him, and then I ended up getting choked out, put to sleep, and that was the last fight I had.
Yeah.
Our team kind of broke up.
Okay. How many fights did you have total doing through amateur MMA?
I mean, that was like my like one, like legit fight.
Okay.
We had like other gyms and like other like people around here who would throw like little events themselves,
Yeah.
and we'd show up and kind of like raid, or be
Okay.
like, oh, there's like a backyard,
Brawl, whatever.
whatever. Yeah, we would do shit like that all the time. But
Okay.
that was like my one and done MMA.
And then was it during your MMA training as well that you started jiu-jitsu, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Going like in doing specifically jiu-jitsu classes?
So like my MMA coach was this is back in the day when black belts were like really rare. Like,
Right.
if you found a black belt, you're like, oh my god, this guy's a shit. That guy was a black belt under Pablo Popovich, which at the time was like a world champ. That guy was killing it in jiu-jitsu,
Okay.
and he's also like an 8-year wrestler. So it was a very grappling based MMA program. So I went from wanting to be a stand-up
Yeah.
and striker to like now learning the puzzle pieces of like the MMA game.
Right.
And jiu-jitsu was very, very addicting.
Yeah.
So-
we all can agree with that
Yeah.
in this room. Besides MMA, did you ever go and train in any other martial arts? I mean, of course, MMA is mixed martial arts, but I'm saying like specifically any traditional martial arts in the past. I mean, anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, I've even got pictures. It's funny, I was just helping clean out my grandpa's house, and I found pictures of when I was a kid. I did like kickboxing and stuff.
Okay.
I actually competed a lot more as a kickboxer as a kid than I did actually getting in the. It's hard to get in the cage in MMA. Like, not only is it like mentally hard and physically hard, but it's like hard to get someone to follow through. I went to like several events ready to go, and my opponent either was bad blood work or didn't show up, or like the weight cut. Like, it's like very hard. Like, you're not like guaranteed a fight until
Yeah.
you get in the ring
Right.
with that. But like when you go to like tournaments as like a kickboxer or like a kid or whatever, there's so many kids, like they'll make it work,
Yeah.
kind of like jiu-jitsu.
Mm-hmm.
You go to a jiu-jitsu tournament, you're gonna find an opponent most likely somewhere. or
What
another.
was your weight class?
So I fought 135s, and then I felt like crap at 135. So my last fight, which was the one I lost, that was 145, and actually I felt better in that fight than I did.
And then the other fight.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like, I was like, this is my new
This is
new
your
jam.
weight, yeah.
I didn't make it back.
Right.
Well, why? So who told you to go at 135? Because I was just talking to one of the coaches, and he said, like, if I ever wanted to fight, I need to be at 125, which is impossible. I'm 200 pounds. There's no way.
You?
Mm-hmm. Like, if I ever needed to fight because of my height and reach and things like that. So
Yeah, dude. Is he trolling? Like, how are you gonna
No,
get that? That's a lot of.
no,
mean,
I
but-
wouldn't want to fight. I said, listen, I don't want to fight, but if I were to fight with my height and my reach, what would that be? Is like 125. You can't even think about more than that.
I mean, that's the lowest weight class. And then, I don't know. I mean, you have guys that are fighting in 135 and in 145 that are about your height. I mean, I don't.
Yeah. I would, dude. I mean, I think even, I would say low would be 155.
I would say 150, 145.
170 might be a challenge at like
No, I don't think you can do the 170.
but like
no.
155,
Not
I
tall
think you
enough
could
for
get
sure.
right. Why not? I mean, them legs are strong, boy. I don't know how you.
He's
you're
He's
locking
got
down
some
that-
fucking
Yeah.
stumps on him,
Yeah,
dude.
he does, dude.
You know what we call him at UFC gyms?
What?
Cinder Block J.
That's what I've been calling him, the cinder block, because
Yeah,
he gets
Cinder
that quarter
block, Jay.
guard, and you're like
bro.
ball and chain down.
Yeah.
Can't freaking. I was like trying to answer questions at the end of class one day, and what was it? Chris was like trying to ask how to get out of like someone who's got like a
He
really
knows
good
Chris.
quarter. You know
the
Chris?
Peruvian guy.
Peruvian Chris?
The one that came into the gym to sign up
Freaking animal, dude. He's an animal.
for workout.
Gonzo and
No. Peruvian guy.
Chris.
Peruvian guy.
Oh, I know you're talking about fighter. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, dude. He was asking. I'm like in front of the class trying to explain, like, dude, you just do this. Like, no, bro, you got to go this way. And then it was like legitimately, he put me in it, and I look like an asshole in front of everybody. Like I was like, I had to like pull one of those like, oh like
Because you weren't doing it right.
brush it off, like, any other questions?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, shit. I think I sent something to Jay. I'm gonna send this right now. Cause talking about jujitsu and coaches trolling, but I was watching. What's Mikey's coach's name? He fought Mika. He grappled Mika as well. What's his name? Mikey Musumeci's coach. Brazilian guy. He's got the craziest accent.
not really
I don't know.
sure.
I sent it to Jay. I'm gonna
It's
find
funny. I
it
was
now.
just watching.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
And this guy, Mikey's coach, is doing like an instructional, and the guy on the bottom's like, "Man, I don't really think you should put this on an online instructional. Why? Man, I don't really think this would work, man. If I had you like this, how would this work?" And the result was hilarious. The coach like, "All right, do it. Defend it. Let me get your arm and defend it." And the way it ended was fucking hilarious.
So
I'm gonna
you're
find
all
this
trained. Like, do you think like different, body attributes contribute to like different things? Like
1,000.
what could be successful for like I couldn't hold quarter guard like that. Not with these bird legs. That ain't gonna work. So like you go to show a move. That's like another aspect as a coach. Like,
Yeah.
how many people can actually like do this?
Right.
Now I'm more focused on like a coaching mindset.
Like it's like you can't teach Jay how to do a buggy choke. Can't reach. Like that's not gonna
right.
happen.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
like-
Or triangles.
Or trying. Yeah. So like when
Or triangles, right? Even my leg, I have really short. It's very hard for me to do triangles.
So if you got students asking questions, you got to kind of be like, damn, like, could he perform that? Is that the
No,
best?
I mean, I've seen cases where, from what I've heard, they're kind of just like, this sadly may not be something for you, right? Like, there's so many things in jiu-jitsu and so many different games to play, and they're not for everyone. I mean,
Because we have Brian, and Brian every time he teaches is like, listen, I'll give you a paper and a pencil. You draw your jujitsu. I'll teach you how this is, and then you make it work, right? So, but that's been the hardest time for me. Like, people they're teaching like De La Ivas and all that stuff, and I'm like, bro, my legs are not long enough.
I just
Like,
put the
can't-
real in.
I can't do
in
those
general.
things.
I think
It's just
it is. They're mod
uncomfortable
chat.
as hell for me. I'm
Mod
not
chat.
very bendy, so
It's right
you
there.
know, half of the stuff doesn't work for me. So
If you guys want to hear this real quick, I'll just steal these.
yeah,
This shit's hilarious.
Still one of these.
Yeah, either one. This shit's hilarious. We're all jiu-jitsu fans, so for those that don't do jiu-jitsu, I guess it's just he was so astonished. He was like pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you should stop questioning coaches sometimes.
it doesn't work.
There's
doesn't
nothing wrong with a little friendly debate. Huh? Yeah. It's like,
That's really what
I
it
mean,
is.
all it
It's a
ended was
debate.
with one of your friends taking a nap, right? Like,
It doesn't work.
That's
Now we
the whole
know.
point of the debate, to change somebody's mind
Yeah.
on a topic.
meet up halfway.
I like giving a little pushback sometimes. Sometimes I think some moves don't work until I'm proven wrong. I have to be choked out until you prove me wrong.
What do they say? Fail forward faster.
Pretty much. Like once
Fail
I
forward
find out,
faster.
He just
once
failed
I find
forward.
out that doesn't work, I'm just gonna stop doing it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Tough
See,
learner.
Miggy, I heard this quote one time and it stuck with me very hard. A smart man learns from his mistakes. A wise man learns from others.
Ooh.
So
Solid. That's a T-shirt.
try and be a wise man sometimes, Miggy. You don't gotta make every mistake yourself.
only under risky
Yeah,
situations.
you only got so many bones.
Yeah,
yeah.
There's only risk, only so many risks.
By
you're
the
gonna
way,
be able to
guys,
make.
I have Kevin's Insta and YouTube channel on we're gonna put it on the description on the video. If you don't mind, guys, hit a subscribe and like.
Oh, y'all plugging me. Dude. Thank you.
Yeah, to Instagram and YouTube.
He didn't
That'll
say
be
it this
cool to
time.
help because he has a pretty cool podcast and he gets really cool people on there and they talk about jujitsu. That's literally what we talk about the podcast a little bit.
So I'm actually setting up season 2 right now, so this is the perfect time to plug it. I appreciate it. This
Yeah.
was not planned or paid. Jay's a great guy. Check out his podcast. Hit that smash that like button.
Yeah.
But no, my podcast is
I'll
more about.
let you touch my pee one time later.
Get out. All right, guys.
Pause.
we're-
No Diddy. No Diddy.
Cut
Cut the
yeah.
cameras, man.
Yeah, so this is a segue into Diddy. But no, my podcast is more about mindset and it's more about like mental toughness and like championship mindset. So I have like a lot of people on. The idea behind mine is people that I know have hit success in different ways, but of course everybody deals with adversity and ups and downs. Like got a really good episode. I saw you just pulled it up for a second with Chris Niles. Really freaking cool dude that I met. He literally rolled into the gym, guy in a wheelchair, and he's like, "Yeah, I love jiu-jitsu," and we're talking about it. This guy has been through hell and back with his injury. He's in a wheelchair. This guy has one of the best mindsets I've ever met in my life. Extremely positive, more positive than most people who have more I'm not going to say more because he's obviously got a lot, but like he has every reason to wake up and be grumpy or whatever, and this guy wakes up every day and just pushes and grinds and like just super inspirational
So
person.
he's paralyzed legs.
Legs
Waist down.
waist down, yeah. But
That
he still
reminds me of-
rolls. He still does jiu-jitsu.
That reminds me of Francesca. We just
Yeah.
recently had an amputee on.
Oh, really?
That she
Yeah.
lost her leg in a motorcycle accident. And one of the most high energy people I've met.
Shit like that is just super cool to me, and I just think like I know there's like a lot of this could probably be a subject we brush on, but like YouTube and social media these days I feel like super fucking toxic.
Yeah.
And I just think that like when your content is toxic or compelling or contrasting, you're gonna get views and stuff like that, but like my shit's like out there in case somebody one day falls upon it and it changes them. It's like, so I don't care if I have like 1 million views, 1,000 views, 1 view. If I hit one person that sees any of these episodes and sees like what these people have been through or like how they've dealt with life, and they're like, damn, I have no excuse to be a little bitch right now. That's what I hope to do.
I mean,
That's awesome, man.
I don't
That's awesome.
like to bring this to politics, but I think that's what we need. You know what I mean? Like, I think, society has gotten very soft, with
Super soft.
everyone's like participation trophies and stuff like that. But which sucks because I feel like every time you say some shit like that like I would hear this older people say that back in the day. Now I'm the one that's saying it. Am I that old guy now? You know what I mean?
Yeah. When do you think it started turning? Like started getting soft?
I think
Oh,
I think
we've gone over this topic
you?
before. Yeah. It's not a bad topic. I'm just saying we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
I'm interested where you think it started. Like
Boomer parents.
boomer parents.
I think the minute you were able to go to the store and buy a new shirt instead of washing your shirt, that's when it got bad. Like instead of you like actually washing your shirt. Like when was the last time you seen somebody like one of the recent podcasts we talked about this. When was the last time you seen somebody like actually take their shoes and get it repaired? Never. Like they just get new shoes, right?
Not in the U.S.
Not in the U.S., right? Like,
Right, like cobblers or
yeah.
nobody
Not
knows
a
what that
thing
even
anymore,
is,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Not until
Like-
Adam Sandler's movie recently, like literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, like or even like you'll see like there are videos on Insta or YouTube. You'll get people from Cuba that just land in the United States. Like even now, they take them to supermarket and they're like, their face expression is like they're in a Disney World. Like they've
mean,
never seen that much food.
I
in
was
their
just
life,
recently there in March in Cuba, and
Oh, really?
yeah, my girlfriend's family is from Cuba, and so we went over there to for an event, for actually a couple events, a quinceañera and a gender reveal, and I got to see, I wouldn't say the worst parts, but I mean the average like day to day like poverty that is Cuba. I mean I didn't stay in Havana, I didn't stay in the capital. We stayed in what's called Mariel, which is her
Okay.
family's hometown, just where actually if you watch the new Griselda Blanco show, that show with talking about
So you got me not even wanting to name the cities because you name them so proud. I say like Medellin.
yeah.
And you're over here.
So that series, when you hear the Marielitos,
Mhm.
the Cubans, the Marielitos, it's because they came out of the port of Mariel, which is that big port they have in Mariel that it's huge. I was there actually.
I think this is the problem. We had another Cuban friend of ours come in on a show, and he was talking about his life and how he came here, and he's becoming pretty successful. You know, got a truck running, like doing this kind of things, right? And he had like gold chains. You know how Cuban guys and girls, they like the gold chain aspect, right? And the toxic part comes in when someone would put clips out, and someone came in on a clip and commented, "Oh, so you're living a poor life. What about those gold chains? Where'd you get those gold chains from?" It's like it's it's more about like not the content, it's like how much people can bash you for no reason. Like these
I'm
people you
sharing
never
this with more
seen.
people. I'm listening. Sorry.
Yeah, you never seen these people. You don't know who they are. They're just random people bashing you. And I feel like there's a new trend, like whose comment is gonna get the
Well,
highest likes,
I mean,
highest replies.
it's proven on the internet that anything viral will cause will cause an argument, right? I mean, they put it out one day like just to show how toxic the internet is, we're gonna put out this picture of an egg, and people started arguing about the egg. I mean, a lot of it was trolling, right? But that just goes to show how of a big of a troll the internet has come as a whole, right? It's turned. It used to be like when back in like when I was in like high school, middle school, the internet was like mostly filled with what we'd think the normal people, and then there was a couple trolls that said dumb shit and did this whatever. Now it's the internet's kind of been opened up to the space where the average person is that troll as well. Everyone is saying some dumb shit. I feel like that's.
I love trolling.
No, I mean
but it is like I see what you're
it's
saying.
become the norm.
But
It's
there's
become the
but
norm,
there's
which it wasn't.
Mhm.
but there's trolling when somebody like there's trolling, normal trolling where somebody trolls like, all right, like I can see he's like being funny.
Like yeah.
And then there's trolling where you're like, what the fuck? Like, really, dude? Like,
Yeah,
almost
we're-
like dead baby jokes. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, and that's what I noticed, man. Is it's like it's super toxic. It's this is another why I brought up that question. Like, where do you think it started turning? You know, where I started thinking it like everyone started getting soft and it started turning. It's fucking filters, bro. When they started introducing filters for your
that could
pictures,
be. That's actually
you
pretty
could just
good.
hide behind a filter. Like, hear me out here. Is that like you don't even have to
But the thing is that only girls can hide behind the
feel like
filters.
girls
If
but
you're
we're
a
onto
guy,
that shit
the
now.
boys
So
will
it's-
crack down on that.
yeah, but we're onto that shit now. Like I think guys like kind of catch on to it.
I
but
don't know any of the guys
once I
in my
started
group
seeing
use
people
filters.
taking
I'm
every
roasted.
picture with a filter, I'm like, man, there's no real anymore. No one's keeping it real. Like
Yeah.
it's like this is like now we're not gonna have real fucking pictures. And I just like saw. I remember when people hit that, I started getting annoyed because I'm like, ain't no picture gonna be genuine anymore.
That actually reminds me of something I was talking to a buddy of mine at work was because of getting into photography and stuff like that. I took a bunch of pictures at work and sent them to all my crew for them to post of them, whatever. And I was telling someone today, I was like, yo, I heard this from a photographer one day and I didn't understand it, but now I get it. When you send someone pictures and then they post it with a filter on it, that shit pissed me off. That shit pissed me
The
off.
disrespect.
Yeah.
Right there, bro. Unbelievable. But like you're selling out for fucking likes from strangers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like trading like genuine, like realness for likes, and that's what people do now. Someone does something crazy, it's like now you gotta beat it to get more likes. Like you're not gonna go viral if your shit ain't as crazy or
yeah, and it's
crazier.
like internet became the middle, like last year of middle school. That's the way I can describe
It's a
it.
good
You know what I
point.
mean?
It's a good way to put
It's
it.
like
Last
just
year of middle school, I'm trying to think back,
yeah,
like
because
as to what
like
that
in a
was
high
like
school,
for
you
me.
still come in with that mindset first year, but then it kind of like filters out as college comes around, and some people get a little more serious about
Yeah,
it.
high
Like-
school is one of those where I feel like once you get into high school, you kind of stick to yourself. There's not as many fights that happen in high school. Like middle school is full of all the drama and little.
Yeah,
kid
it's
shit.
like you're ugly, but who am I type of deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that, you know. So I don't know. I don't necessarily like it. Even like the things like for a moment it was like very viral putting those, s- uh, uh, those videos where you go up to a person and say some random shit like those troll videos. Like what do you
Pranks.
call it?
You know,
prank videos. Like I'm completely against it. My favorite prank videos are when they're getting their face smashed.
Yeah.
Those like a compilation of these people getting their face smashed.
something
You know what I
something
mean?
I've realized
What about-
recently, which with photography is, damn, I lost the thought. It just went away.
Well, I know with
Oh,
photography.
realism in photos, like you were saying with filters, actually. That when I take pictures of people and I show them that because it doesn't have that filter on their face and you can see like the natural qualities of their face, like blemishes or whatever it is, they're like that photo looks horrible. And in my eyes, I'm like, that photo looks natural. It actually looks like you. That's the good
you,
photo,
yeah.
right? By going in and taking all that shit out, you don't look like a normal. You don't look regular anymore. You don't look not regular, but natural anymore, right? Like it takes away that realness.
Yeah.
So
like you said.
You know
That's what
when
I
the
meant to
beer
get at.
bug happened and everybody kind of was working from home and using Zoom. So Zoom naturally has a filter that it applies to your face, right?
Really?
So apparently during
Ah,
the same
genius.
time, plastic surgeons got a surge of people coming in, specifically women coming in and bringing their Zoom photos and saying, "Can you make my face look like this?"
I know
And
that in
also they'll
general
take
with
a like a
Snapchat filters that happened as well. Like,
yeah,
plastic
they'll take
surgeons
a
getting that.
random picture at a random light, bring that in, and say, "Can you do this to my face?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "You understand that this is a picture in a certain light with a certain way. Like your face does not look like that." Or they'll put a bunch of makeup on it and say, "Can you make my face look like that?" When
Right.
they're like shape, you know how that
Yeah.
works.
Yeah.
But it's just about like I don't know, man. I mean, you see what happened. Like I don't want to bring it up, but like P Diddy gets arrested and whatnot, and half of the celebrities started like removing their tweets. Like Pink removed a bunch of their tweets. Like bunch of people removed their tweets. Usher removed a bunch of his
Usher,
tweets.
that's who I heard.
Yeah, like a lot.
That's why they're associating him so much with Diddy.
Well,
'Cause
they,
I've seen a lot of memes with Usher
they work
and
pretty
Diddy
close
together.
together, right?
Well,
Like him
Usher
and
pretty
Bieber.
much because of Diddy.
I saw
Usher is who he is because of Diddy. Like he had him since he was like 13 years old.
I saw the funniest video. They were saying it was like Diddy like with his hands on like a table or whatever, like dancing or whatever, and Usher standing next to him, and everyone was saying like, "Oh, I thought he was in a chair or something," like, and he was actually just standing dancing like that, and they were roasting the shit out of him. I think it's crazy though, because now is when all the receipts start to come out, right? Like everyone starts to pull a bunch of shit. Like the same thing that happened with Kendrick Lamar when he had the last song about Drake calling him a pedophile and stuff like that. Everyone was going back through Drake songs and talking about how he was like when all the lyrics he has about talking about young girls and all this shit. Like they're just gonna pull all the receipts and put as much shit as they can on these people.
Yeah, that's like what I keep seeing is like little clips of him being like, "Oh, I do it for the kids," and
Exactly. That's what I yeah.
who's your idol? Michael Jackson. It's like, oh, oh shit.
Well, okay, so I have a question.
That's
You
actually
don't have,
funny.
you
Yeah.
can get conspiracy theory on this or not.
Fucking love conspiracy theories.
Yeah. Do you think that happened to him because he got too cocky? He didn't want to share money. He didn't want to share a spotlight, and someone was like, "Okay, hold my beer. Watch what's gonna happen." Or do you think he just kind of fucked up and got cocky because he just had all the money and power, kind of?
I think it's very weird that they come after him now. Like, I mean, this ain't a new
Kind of
thing.
everyone knew
This has
about it,
been going
right?
on forever. I'm sure in those little circles, word's been spreading around forever if it's legit. I feel like it's like someone dumped, like either
I heard Joe Rogan
time
saying
for the
that.
next one.
He
or-
was saying like to me it sounds like it's one of those things where it's like, yo, you want to get in this club? We need something on you, kind
Yeah.
of thing. And the reason is because you want to get in this club. When you come in this club, we got to make sure you stay under our control. And if you don't want to stay under our control, we have this shit to put on you. And it sounded pretty like it made sense in the way everything has been put together. Because I agree with you. It's like this shit's been going on for so long. You tell me no one knew?
yeah, right. And then, do you guys listen to Patrick Bet David?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
Little
you
bit.
listen to the one with Suge?
Yeah.
With Suge Knight, no.
Yeah. I
he
listened
kept
to that.
alluding to like, don't look at Diddy, look at who's putting Diddy up to it, and it's like that makes more sense. Like, you think Diddy just all of a sudden like left evidence like one day and it's like, oh,
1,000
shit.
bottles of baby oil.
Oh shit,
lubricant.
we got him now. We've been, it's like nah, something triggered now.
Well, the
Like,
Suge
why
Knight-
did it cave now? You know,
Suge Knight's thing was like the problem with Suge Knight is he's been like proven several times like just saying shit just to be just to stay relevant.
Oh,
You know what I
really?
mean? Yeah, he has said that. So whatever comes out of his mouth now, everybody just kind of takes it with a grain of salt.
I mean,
even
we
he
did say
could be
we were
like
getting
100%
into
right.
conspiracy here, right? So
he is like a professional finesser too. So
Yeah.
it's like,
And then I mean, he went as far as saying that like P Diddy and Tupac were like together type of deal. Like,
yeah, that's what the tattoo artist was saying yesterday. That kind of broke my heart. I'm like, I hope that's not true. I hope Tupac showed up and was like, yo, where the girls at? And then they kicked him out. And
we'll just keep that belief alive as long as we can.
Dude, I haven't given up on you, Pac.
and then there's this picture of Biggie like kind of like looking at P Diddy as P Diddy sitting down like facing away from him. Is like even Biggie knew to keep his eyes on him at all times type of deal.
Like 50 Cent don't like him, and Andrew Schultz was like, if 50 don't like you, there's something wrong with you. And I'm like, it's probably a good point.
I heard he's
that's
got a
right.
great special that came out recently, right? Talking about a bunch of stuff.
Oh, I gotta look that up.
Yeah.
I gotta get into that.
That was the thing. Didn't 50 say that he wanted to take me shopping in the middle of the night or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that?
yeah. He's like, why are you gonna buy me clothes?
Oh,
I'm a
I've
grown
seen
man. He
that
goes, I'm a
shit.
grown man. Why you want to buy me clothes?
I've seen that shit, bro.
It's oh
Oh,
yeah.
and Cat Williams came out, said a bunch of
Cat
shit. Like
Williams
he was
going
all
about.
talking cryptically and
But
stuff.
where are all these people before? You know what I mean? Like they know that shit's going on. They got platforms.
Yeah,
to
why are you
speak.
talking all this shit now?
Yeah, like what? You haven't gone up to nobody and been like, "Hey, man, like Diddy's kind of weird." Like, or is it like do they just keep it to where you don't know? You know, like what if I bump Jay and I'm like, "Hey, dude, Diddy's kind of weird," and then Jay goes, "Hey, man, Cat ain't with us." You know,
Yeah,
let's
maybe.
take him out. Like,
Maybe.
Dictator style? No, kill him, kill him.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, and how many people show up to them parties and it's like, "Nah, I'm leaving. I'm getting an Uber." I saw a thing like Denzel Washington would always leave before Diddy showed up to events. Like,
Really?
I just saw like, and I don't know how much of this is true, but like conspiracy theory wise, that this is fun. Like,
You know,
This is fun. Yeah, let's keep it going.
Feed it all to me.
you
bro.
know what's funny though?
That's
Like, you
funny.
know, first we had like Weinstein, then there was the Epstein, now is Diddy, right?
Mhm.
And they all
Diddy
try to
Island.
they all try to get Trump somehow involved in all of this.
Everyone.
But it just, yeah, every one of them, but it just comes out to be that he never was involved in any of this shit. Like, and they just perpetually try to get his name in there, which is kind of funny. Like, I feel like there's like a couple of factions that are working, right? Like, these people want to stay relevant, so they're saying dumb shit. And then there are people that actually know stuff, but you kind of like, I don't know how much credibility you have.
Mhm.
And then you have this other faction of people, well, why don't we just use this train and just throw a bunch of other people under the bus with this one?
Mhm.
So that's why, you know, and then the internet is such a vast place and everything gets fucking lost. So what's right, what's wrong, you don't know anymore. Like, who's reporting,
That's what
why
I
are they
hated about the
reporting?
internet in the last.
He's either a
10
scapegoat
years.
or a distraction, is what I think. Like he's either like something was coming too close and they had to get, you know, you had to throw, yeah, like you had to throw a decoy out there so you can get away, or it's like, man, we got an election coming up, perfect time to keep everyone distracted, or like, you know,
Yeah.
because you know people will worry about this shit more than anything else. But like I said, it's fun. Like,
Life was so much better at a point when Ray William Johnson was the one telling me about the news. And it was really just like cat videos and funny shit on the internet.
like
Ray William Johnson.
Do you guys ever grow up with Ray William Johnson?
uh-uh.
No, I don't
He was
think
one of
nobody
like the
know who he
fastest
is.
growing YouTubers at first.
Yeah, he's back in the
Oh,
day.
talking about that, did you see Mr. Beast just got slapped with a 50-page lawsuit?
54-page lawsuit, dude.
What
Have you
happened there?
have you guys
Listen to
gone
this.
down those rabbit holes?
Huh?
Have you guys gone down those rabbit
No,
holes?
why don't we just
Talk
start?
to us.
Oh, I'm on it.
Give us take us with you down that.
Oh shit. So there's a kid, and I don't think he was very big, but he's got a YouTube channel, and I guess he used to work for Mr. Beast. He started out one little video starting to expose Mr. Beast.
Oh,
And-
I've seen that.
And then
yeah.
another kid has been analyzing those videos and also digging deep into it. So like these two guys are like, every time this one kid posts a video, now this other kid's posting a video. It's almost like a reaction video, but he's also like getting into it. So it's like helping it spread like wildfire. But it's everything to like the dude that was on the show that went trans was meeting up with like underage
Right.
kid or dudes. They're all in a Discord server together. I guess there's evidence of Mr. Beast in the Discord kind of like dropping hints at like knowing about all this shit. And then on top of that, Mr. Beast is like scamming people allegedly. So like he's like all these like this is a room full of 100 of my subscribers, you know.
Yeah.
Turns out they're like employees.
Yeah.
And that kid's like circling and showing like these people's LinkedIn and how like they're employees that work for him and they're not like actually like random subscribers. And like then he like found like people who were promised like houses, like do this and you get a house. And like that guy's like saying like, oh, he promised to buy me a house, but then they gave me 1 hour to shop. And then somehow through all of it and all the bullshit paperwork and stuff, this guy owes 150 grand in like taxes
Oh,
on like a house that like
Yeah,
he had no
Supposed to
time
give
to
it
check
free.
out, and this house is like broken down, so he kind of got like gypped.
Yeah, because that'll happen every time, like, you win something. Like, if you win a car or something like that, you're responsible for the taxes. That's why in a lot of those game shows, you know, remember the back of Guess the Price or whatever, Price is Right? Like, a lot of times people would just take the cash value for it, because if they took that $7,000 trip, that means they would have been on a hook for like a $2,000 tax bill, right?
Mhm.
Because they
Fuck
took
that.
free shit. Yeah, so a lot of times people never take those, they just take the money, right?
Money, yeah.
And now the new but the new lawsuit is these girls that came forward and they said like that the whole um this competition environment is very toxic, masculine, ma- you know,
Toxic masculinity.
yeah, toxic masculinity. Basically, what they're saying. Sometimes they give you food. It's at the random times. Then you're really tired. They want you to do this, even though you're told you can leave. But it's really bad for you because it could be bad for your health because they're not feeding you and this and that. Well, like I'm kind of like looking at it as like, well, let's just put all that aside. If he's got a competition going, who's gonna hold their finger longest on this Lamborghini? Gonna keep the Lamborghini. So if you decide you don't have the stamina for it, and somehow how is this toxically masculine if a dude won and you as a girl couldn't do it? So now the dude has to like take his finger off because he wants you to win. So it's not toxically like masculine. Like
I want
it's
to see
weird.
I want to see the logistics on this report.
Yeah,
to
that's
see exactly what these girls
yeah.
are saying.
Mick,
they
you want to
did.
read a little bit of
I
it?
mean that,
for
but
us?
that's going back to what we talked about earlier about it just being like everyone's so soft. It's like everyone just can't wait to bitch.
Yeah,
You know, what I mean, you had an opportunity to win a Lamborghini. You know,
yeah.
maybe you should have trained for it. I don't know. Like,
Like, so I'm
or-
gonna read a little bit for you guys here. A lawsuit against YouTube star Mr. Beast and Amazon has been filed on behalf of 5 unnamed contestants in the Beast Games reality competition show, alleging they were subject to chronic mistreatment, sexual harassment, and more. The complaint was filed Monday, September 16th in Los Angeles Superior Court. The lawsuit alleges multiple causes of action related to the chronic mistreatment of and neglect suffered by participants in Beast Games, a reality competition ordered by Prime Video in which more than 1,000 participants compete for a single $5 million cash prize. The suit claims Beast Games has a $100 million budget. A redacted copy of the complaint is available at this link. I don't want to click a link.
Yeah, this is a very short
But-
one because the one I
Yeah.
read, like they were talking about how they don't feed him, that it is, that
oh,
that.
it gets deep. Like there's a lot.
Yeah,
And that kid posted like a second video, and so again, like this kid is like an ex-employee, and he posted the first one, and it was kind of like holy shit, bombshell dropped, because no, after all this time, no one's ever came after this guy,
Right.
and you get the whole vibe that he's a nice dude, like good dude, probably running a huge company if he's this big, and like
Multiple companies.
and he makes it look like I give you shit, I'm free, here, hand out Oprah, you know, you get a car,
right.
but what they're getting at is like it's not actually like that. It's like there's like a lot of shit he does up allegedly that is like more of a setup.
are
and
you
more for
talking about
show.
that guy that drives around with like a bag full of money and he just kind of like hands it to people and shit?
Mr. Beast?
No. This guy you were talking about, no.
No, the guy exposing him.
Yeah.
No, the guy exposed him to some random,
Oh, okay.
just some guy who worked for him, and then there's like you know how it goes, the trickle effect. One guy comes out and then a bunch of people come out.
Right. Just like with the
But
Diddy.
It gets yeah, it gets deep, but there's like a lot. But I spent a good week of my time going down that rabbit hole. And
What do you
I-
think of the guys that go out and do the streams to catch the pedophiles?
That's something
fucking-
we haven't talked about too much here.
oh, dude, man, you can. That's like to me.
That's Anatoly, right?
That's-
Like he's
that's-
been big into it lately.
Vitaly.
Vitaly.
That should be a job where you.
Gideon.
In my eyes, that should be a job where you go catch them dudes and they disappear or whatever. Like,
That's how Vitaly.
you don't need a body cam for that. You know what I mean? Like I just think that those types of people.
Body
are-
cam not required for that department.
They're sick. They don't. They don't
You-
deserve the same.
With the
breath air as I
Vitaly's
do.
one, that's how Vitaly started becoming relevant again by doing this. And apparently, what happened was, even though they'll catch them, there's nothing police can do about it. They
Right.
won't take them.
It's not illegal to be a pedophile, but it's illegal to do pedophilia type of loophole, right? Is that what we're?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the act of soliciting children is illegal though. So if they did that, they could get them on that.
Well, that's the thing. They're soliciting the children, and then cops show up, and the cops won't take them.
Oh, because there's not actual children.
There's this dude who's like a hacker, and he's been like a huge advocate for this. Have you seen that guy?
No.
I need to
wasn't-
start memorizing names.
Are you talking about
but-
the same guy on Patrick Bet David's thing that came out?
Yes, where he was like doing like go live, and he like
Yeah.
went live into like chat rooms, and he just
Yeah,
started, like,
yeah.
and he started getting people already just like rolling in the door, like messaging him, and yeah, that guy's like that's kind of what he's
He
advocating.
pulled up
It's
the
weird
Hangouts.
how we ignore all that.
Hangouts, yeah. He pulled Hangouts, and then he put in like a 13 female blah 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 looking to chat, and then you got these dudes just like 28, 35, 40 just messaging this 13-year-old girl like trying to like
Yeah, like he blew up quick, and all he did was like put like hey or hi in the
Yeah.
chat. But like yeah, dude, I that's one thing I think is in my head. I'm like, no one goes after those people. It doesn't seem like it. Like you would think that like we'd be talking about like, hey, let's get these people off the street. Hey, sex trafficking is super high in Tampa. Do you know that? But we don't want to kill tourism, so we won't talk about it.
No,
It's
so
like,
see, I have a big conspiracy theory. I think why it's like that. I think so. There's a couple of steps to this. How do I go about this? Now, you know how there's a whole movement of saying that like being gay or LGBTQ has to do something with genetics, right? Like there's some people saying that, and then some people saying there's really no evidence to. The closest they've come to the evidence is that if they're saying it's usually like being gay comes from the female side of the family. So if the mother was a little more promiscuous and she has the gene on, I think it's called like XP, the specific gene on XP54, whatever, this allele in that gene, there's most likely chance that person is going to be gay, right? But I think what's happening here, the minute they say that that's the case, you're going to get all these pedophiles come in and say, well, this is genetic.
yeah, yeah.
And now that's his genetic. That means there's nothing I can do about it because nothing I can do about it. And everyone is important, right? So we can't do nothing because now this is going to be a marginalized.
I
I
don't
do
like their
remember.
genetics then.
Have
At
you
all.
guys
Yeah.
have you guys ever heard of the show The Good Doctor? It's like
Yeah, yeah.
the doctor is autistic. He's a surgeon and stuff.
Oh yeah, my girlfriend
Um,
loves that show.
I do remember seeing a episode where there was this guy that had this condition that I thought was fake, right? Where basically he can't control that he's like attracted to children kind of thing. And I thought it was fake, and I looked it up, and apparently they have like actually put a name to this thing, and he ended up killing himself in the episode and everything because he couldn't control it, and he had like a sister that had kids, and like he didn't feel safe. He tried to castrate himself and ended up and then put himself in front of a bus. This is all in a show, by the way, whatever. But then I remember after the show, I was like, "Is this shit real?" And I looked it up, and it was an actual condition, right? Um, how much of that can you believe? Because it's just someone telling you that I can't control it, kind of thing, you know. So,
Right.
Well,
at the end of the day, how much of it can you believe?
Does make it okay.
Well,
Well,
that too, right? Doesn't
my-
make it okay.
in my
But the
eyes.
minute they prove it genetically, they say, okay, well, this specific gene in your body has that little, this chromosome has that specific gene in your body that makes you like this, that there's like scientific proof and they can just do the test, like that's game over. Like, now you're going to have a group of, well, I think there's an organization of like people that love minors type of shit. Like, there's a legal organization that exists in the United States.
I mean,
There's a whole category on any porn site called teen.
Yeah, there's that too, right?
So,
So
it's pretty widespread.
yeah, so I don't know how to go about this. It's a because I like to read a little bit about evolutionary psychology, and this is one of the questions evolutionary psychology cannot really answer. Like if we're here to reprocreate and continue the human race, why do gay people exist, right? So there's absolutely no proof why gay women, lesbians exist. There's some proof why gay men go gay, but they're like
That's weird.
genetically.
What do you mean? Like so, like you can prove that one turns gay and one doesn't, or
Well, no, you can't prove that. So basically, what they're saying, this specific gene on this chromosome, if the mother of the child has that specific gene on this chromosome, which makes them a little more promiscuous, it's a higher chance that the son will end up being gay.
Mm.
So they're saying there's that proof, but there's no proof as far as like why lesbians are lesbians.
if someone's gay, then that just means more procreating for you, honestly, right?
True.
It doesn't really shut down that objective.
more food on my plate. You know
Right?
what I'm saying?
Now you got two options to procreate. You know, if it came down to survival and you had to procreate, it's like, well, that dude's gay, so we're gonna have to figure this out. You know.
Yeah, so like Alex is right. Like the gay gene has been a homophobic talking point for years with absolutely no scientific backing. That is correct. Sexual attraction is still a complicated mystery with multiple factors. Yeah, that's true. But the problem is the reason like the gay gene, an average person, like, yeah, that's homophobic, we'll talk about it, but there are scientists out there that are trying to understand why this is. They don't give a shit whether you're gay or not. They're just trying to understand why this happens, right? But
there's
anyway,
been
forget
no
about gay.
real evidence behind
There
it.
isn't one. No,
Yeah.
there isn't one. I mean, there have been in the labs that people proved like there is one, and these were actually gay people that did their research, and there's like, oh, there's this gene, and then there's been disproven by a lot of people. Now, here's the question: it's been disproven because we can't prove it because now you're getting pedos that are gonna come in, the PDF files, they're gonna come in and say, okay, we're the same way. Is that why their like research was like stumped on, or there's really no proof? Because we don't know. Again,
I think
internet
there's no
is
proof
internet,
there,
right?
yeah. I think there's no
It's-
proof. I do see what you're saying, that these guys may try and go and grasp at that idea to kind of defend themselves or whatever. But I think at the end of the day, there's going to be no proof on the
I
gay.
got a few
There's going to
gay
be.
friends we could bring in here and figure it out.
Yeah.
Ask
Well,
them
then
if they know if it's genetic or not.
It's
When
the,
did it all happen? When did
it's
it all
the same
click?
thing, because what happens in a lot of these cases, especially when scientists go out there and do their science, they're literally, they could care less. They just want to know the science behind it, right? Like there's this such thing as tribalism, right? Like a lot of these Nazis will take the tribalism and then they try to say, well, see, because of that, this is the way we are. Like they're trying to justify how they're operating because of that, right? Like so anytime somebody comes up with something that's going to be used against, like,
We love confirmation bias, so and that's like one thing, especially with politics. I don't know who the person is.
Alex?
Alex, because I'm like,
actually.
oh, okay. I'm like reading like some of the responses and
Yeah.
stuff. I've heard, and no offense to you, but like I've heard the exact opposites of everything I'm seeing posted here,
Mhm.
right? So I think as humans we like confirmation bias. So I think like when someone's on Google searching for something or searching for answers or searching for like whatever, they're no matter what almost already have it decided in their head what they're looking for. I
Mhm.
think most people, I feel like it's more rare of someone to be objective and try to look at things objectively than it is for someone to be like, well, I don't like Trump, so I'm going to look up Trump was at Epstein's Island. Or no, I like Trump, he was not there. Or I'm going to ignore that he was there because he probably was there and I know he was there. I'm going to talk about how Clinton was there. You know what I mean? And I'm just using the example from that. So I think that like when it comes to like the research, it's like, especially with how much stuff is on the internet, it's so freaking hard to like really find information. And like this goes into like disinformation, misinformation, but it's like we as humans like to tribe up. So like if I think that like being gay is wrong, all I'm gonna do is hold on and retain the information that proves what I
And then
think.
find people that are
And
just
then
like
find
you.
the people that get along with me, because that's gonna be a way easier route than me like, you know. I can have casual conversation. Like you could tell me you hate gays or you like gays, and I'm cool with you as long as you're not hurting kids or whatever, right? But like there will probably be people who are like, it's way easier just to find people who
No, well, you get
agree, you know?
I was just talking about that with my my general manager the other day, and we were talking about the world and being soft and how people have tribed up, and I was telling him, and I was like, man, me and you are completely different, right? When it comes to a lot of things, religion, politics, everything, right? Complete opposite spectrum. I get along with him so well. We can sit there and talk for the 8 hours of my shift and no problem. Like really good.
That's awesome.
Like, and I think everyone just needs to learn to be a little bit more like that.
So, like going down this route, before I drove over here, and I thought it was really interesting. This is probably, and I'm just assuming this is probably someone people either freaking hate or love, but Charlie Kirk. I feel like all that dude does is drives around and argues with people.
yeah, you know,
But
yeah.
there's one where that we were just watching on YouTube. It was like Charlie Kirk versus 25 woke students.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I didn't click it for a while because like one way or another, like I respect the dude. I don't have anything against him. But one way or another, I'm like, this is gonna be toxic, waste of my brain space and energy.
The
Like-
title caught my eye, and I feel the same way.
But so my girlfriend, before we came over here, clicked on it. And I guess she saw some clips and clicked on it. And I actually really think that it is a super healthy way to go about it. So what they did was they put Charlie Kirk in the middle, 25 students who disagreed about abortion around him, right?
It was more things than abortion. I think there was a couple
really?
other things. Yeah.
Where I got to was all abortion related, but then like every kid in the seat had a flag. They race to the middle. Whoever gets to the chair gets to argue with Charlie Kirk.
Right.
So they're debating, and when everyone in the crowd feels like that person's not doing a good job representing what they're there for, they raise a flag. And if over half the crowd, which is 11 flags, go up, or maybe it was 20 woke students, I don't know.
Yeah.
11 flags go up, that person has to get out of the middle, new one comes in and argues with. But what they're doing is like some of the people are getting really emotional about it, and
Right.
like start to like result to like name calling on him and try to make him look dumb, and they're getting louder, talking faster, all that kind of shit. And Charlie kept like a clean demeanor, and I told Brittany, I'm like, I think this is super healthy because they obviously disagree, but like if someone was able to sit here and listen to it and then watch the reverse where it's like one of the students is in the middle and a bunch of people who think like Charlie Kirk come in and argue, like I think that would be super healthy. Like rather than presidents
Be
debating
nice to
each
see the
other,
other side.
like if you and I were running a race, and I'm like, we could sit here and debate all day long, cut each other off. But what if you went and did that, and I went and did it, and then we watch each other's episodes,
Yeah,
like,
but
That's
they'll
an
never.
interesting aspect. Yeah.
right?
They
Like,
never let that happen. They're talking about Charlie Kirk. Funny thing, Charlie
It's all
Kirk
the
was
funniest
with this
shit.
guy. They were talking, and then the guy pulls a photo. He goes,
That's what I was.
would you consider this as a fetus, right?" And
Or
then Charlie,
human.
yeah, human, and he goes, "Yes." He goes, "That's crazy. This is a baby dolphin." You know what I mean? Like, because they all look alike. You know, so that was kind of funny. That one, you know,
he pulls it out and he's like, "So you'd consider this to be a human? Absolutely, without a doubt. You'd consider this to be a human. This is a dolphin." It was the
Yeah.
funniest shit.
So
and Charlie just had no words. Literally couldn't say a damn thing.
and you know what
got him.
Yep.
and you know what I realized, especially about debaters, they might not believe in a subject. That's their thing to debate. They might not believe in a subject, so they'll look for ways to, like, whether it's they're doing a straw man argument or whatever, to prove their point to be right, even though their point might be completely fucking wrong, right? So that's the thing with the debating. That's what Charlie Kirk is good at, is debating, and then he might have a little more information than, like, another thing was he was in a college campus. This girl comes out, tries to talk like with him. First thing she does, tries to lower her shirt, like to get her boob basically out, so his channel gets
Distract the
banned.
enemy.
No, he just tried to get that channel banned because she knew this going on YouTube, and YouTube doesn't allow nudity. She was gonna try to get him banned.
Was she just playing the game smart? I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
Well,
like,
couldn't
right?
you just blur it? I
Yeah,
mean,
that's what they did. They
Okay,
blurred it.
okay.
They blurred it right away. She didn't realize that this is not live, so they just blurred that shit and put it right on there on internet.
I think it's super healthy to debate to a point. Like obviously, there's probably a point of diminishing return, or
That's
like
what
a
I think
point to where
starts to
you're just
happen.
yelling.
When you just start screaming
Yeah,
at
there's a,
each
point,
other.
Yeah,
there's,
yeah.
there's a point of diminishing returns where it just gets to the point where now the thoughts are even getting further
Do you,
apart.
let me ask you this: do you think when it was like back in the days, there were like mammoths and like our ancestors were chasing the mammoth and trying to duck the saber-toothed tiger? Do you think they yelled as much at each other, or they just picked up the nearest rock and
No, they
bashed
couldn't
the
yell
other-
as
other
much because the
person's head?
wolf was around the corner and
Yeah.
it can't be
Probably-
loud.
I would like to think they helped each other out. That's what I never got, man. It's like, man, why don't we try to help each other? I don't know why everyone's like,
You know what was interesting for me is
or maybe everyone is trying to help each other,
being-
but they just think you're weak. I don't
being
know.
young and growing up in school and hearing all this history over time of how much like the world has come to what it is now due to the fact of community, right? In
Yeah, I
certain
did. I
cases.
did watch that. What he's saying,
Um,
the Jubilee was the same thing as Charlie Kirk on. They released that one young kid with the blonde hair, longer blonde hair, against 20 Republicans, right
Oh,
from
that's
the right
cool.
side, and then he got owned at that table.
Did he?
Especially it was this lady that was big into.
Said Jubilee
Yeah,
does
he
both
got- he
sides,
got
but even
owned.
they
There-
show bias.
Yeah, the couple of people were they couldn't keep up with the kid because he was in politics and debate club, whatever, blah blah blah. But then this lady came out and she completely fucking destroyed him, and kid had no answer back to it.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, so
See, that's cool. I'd watch that.
yeah,
So,
so-
I mean, in the right mood.
yeah. But it
It's,
was
like,
definitely.
draining,
But
man.
Yeah, I do 2-speed, man. I max that shit out, and then I listen to it when
I
I'm
can't.
working.
I like the naturalness
Yeah,
of
and I
someone's
max the
voice going
shit
at
out.
a normal
We
speed.
probably have
don't
more,
have time
people
for it.
probably have more in common than they have, not in common. But we just
Yeah.
focus on what's.
Yeah, 67% or 70% of people are like right in the middle. They don't care. They
Yeah.
just want to live a happy, good life. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, if you're an older generation, you're gonna be a little more conservative than a younger generation. Fine, it is what it is. But this older generation back in the day used to be the same, younger, less liberal. You know, our parents were more conservative than us. Like, it's progress, right? It's always moving forward. But, you know, I don't know, man. I don't know if there's an answer to this or.
I think a big thing is what you said though, community. I mean, like I said, I'm young, so I didn't. By the time I got to be old enough to see that, there was no sense of community around, right? But then I had heard about it, and so I'm like, where's all this shit at? Oh, it's just in my head growing up, I was just like, oh, that's just my area then. You know, that's just where I'm at. That's not like that. And then little do I know that was everywhere else that
Like-
did the same thing usually.
Like
At least in
even
the U.S.
even look at like a businessman. So like this is what kind of put me onto that thought process was like when I had my detailing business. So there's a book called The E-Myth, and there's something like pretty genius in it. There's 3 parts of business. You got the entrepreneur, the manager, and the technician. All 3 need each other to exist, right? So if you're making like a business run, you need all 3. if you're one person doing all three, you can only do so much, right?
Right.
So you kind of like need one person each designated spot. You need a technical minded person, you need an entrepreneurial minded person, and you need a person who's good at management, probably more Stern, right? So like even something that small kind of shows like how a community is stronger than one person can be. And I could tell you from my experience, like I needed employees to make that business grow. And that was the biggest challenge, was getting like a community rolling. Now I'm a lot older. That business is gone. I sold it, but like I've kind of learned that like if you create a good community within a business, any place that like I've seen that is like, oh, it's a pretty good community, they treat me good here. It's like seems to be a pretty good structure. Once you get like a toxic person in the office, the whole office turns toxic. Once you get a bad apple in the gym, that whole gym turns toxic, right?
You ever seen that experiment with the monkeys? So basically, what they did, they let a monkey into the cage, and this is a little, um, uh, well, the I think there was a bunch of monkeys. Anyway, stairs and then banana on top. As the minute monkey touched the stairs, it electrocutes them, right? And then monkey stopped doing that. But then what they did is like, okay, the minute monkey gets on the stairs, they electrocute all the other monkeys. They hit him, they zap him with electricity. So after a while, they slowly introduced, like,
New
they
monkeys?
took the monkeys out and they left only one and brought a whole bunch of new group of monkeys in. And that one monkey basically influenced all the monkeys. And then when they brought in another monkey and he tried to climb up to get the banana, these all attacked and beat the shit out of the other monkey. Not to get the bananas because they would get zapped. Every
Ah,
time they would go up. So that, that's the same,
yeah, they learn like what works.
yeah, like,
Nah, bro, not
so,
today.
yeah, no, you're not getting on that. And then, but I also done this thing like the whole thing of money and services. What they've done is they taught the monkeys every time they do a task, they get a coin. And every time they get a coin, they can trade that coin for fruits, whether it's grapes, this, that, the third, the fourth, right? So these monkeys figured out, and what they would do, the male monkeys would do the task, get the coin, go to the female monkey, smash. Female monkey would take the coin from them and get grapes.
Like they're prostitutes.
Yeah, yeah. They literally taught monkeys how to prostitute
Um,
with coins. Now this is monkeys, right?
Or did
Like,
they just give
Oldest
monkeys
profession
an
in the game,
economy?
baby.
yeah.
They just gave monkeys an economy, and monkeys decided to prostitute.
so
Yeah,
does
that's
that
exactly
mean
what happened.
does that mean economy is like natural amongst the monkeys, or like they naturally created that, or did we teach it to them?
I think they taught it to them. Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
okay, so there was
Because
another experiment. They had these bonobo monkeys in the zoo, right? Because they have no natural predators within a cage. After a while, after so many generations, all the female bonobo monkeys started having like human-looking breasts and ass. Where like they would not survive in a wild because they would be heavier and they wouldn't run as fast. So tiger would get them or the leopard would get them. And so if it was left up to the monkeys, they've selected this specific shape of a monkey, the body of the monkey, right? So
I feel like in a monkey cage, all of them are fucking.
well,
I don't think they're gonna be like, nah, that bitch is thin. I'm not.
we all Eskimo, bro.
they are, but they would
Eskimo chimps.
yeah they would
Shit.
select to breed with the one that was like a little more curvy. So eventually, what happened? All the female monkeys ended up being curvier than what they originally started with.
Like okay, so genetically manipulated them.
Yeah, they genetically manipulated themselves to do that. So
Crazy.
that's why, like, it's they do these experiments with fucking monkeys, right? They've done that with humans too. It's like, the more intelligence you have, the more money you make, the nicer car you drive. As a guy, you're more likely to cheat. Like, it's just a given. You're more likely to cheat. And then the more,
Because temptation, or
I don't know. I don't know whether it's temptation or
More options?
access
Or you're
access
just
to
not-
options,
or
resources.
you're more narcissistic, probably.
No, that's different because you can have narcissistic traits. Like, only 5% of the society is narcissistic. It's a really good book. I think it's called Sociopath Next Door. It talks about sociopaths, and narcissists are, it's part of the dark triad traits, right? It's narcissism, sociopathy, and
You're talking 2 times right now.
Machiavellianism.
Slow down a little
Oh,
bit.
sorry. That's my audiobook kicked in, right? So you got narcissism, Machiavellianism, and sociopathy. It's the dark triad traits. And they've done studies where, like, girls will be attracted to guys that have these traits, right? But what they've in this book, psychopath next door, they talk about how only about a 5% of the society are like actual psychopaths and sociopaths, not psychopaths, sociopaths.
Okay.
So narcissism is the same way. Like even if you look at it, like San Diego, I think it's San Diego. Is either San Diego or San Francisco, which has the largest population of per capita LGBTQ, and that's 6.5%. So if you take San Diego at 6.5%, and then you take, I don't know, like boondocks of Iowa, and then like get all these numbers, we would just go right at that 5% number, right? Like, so I don't know if those narcissistic tendencies work, or is it more of
Shit.
like a hype thing where we are.
According to American Psychiatric Association, 1 to 2% of the U.S. population has narcissistic personality disorder.
Yeah, disorder. Now the tendencies are different, right?
Right.
Because businessmen, they've said most successful businessmen have sociopathic tendencies. That's what makes them so good, right?
Probably gotta get reckless. You gotta make risky decisions. Obviously.
And then there's also it's saying here, it's interesting. Some research suggests that the number could be as high as 5%. It's difficult to estimate the actual number of people with NPD because of many beliefs. Many people hide narcissistic behaviors or beliefs, which is known as covert narcissism.
Mm-hmm. Well, which is they're learned to mimic you, right? Like so mimic normal people because they don't have feelings and things like that, especially with sociopaths. So they'll
Narcissism
learn how
seems
to
to
mimic.
be
They're very good actors. So
it seems to be more common in men than women.
yes, so they're saying that exists. Although I don't know, man, with Instagram and them girls putting them filters and pictures of the, I don't know. I think that number needs to be revisited a bit. I
Sounds
don't
like
know.
bias, Jay.
It might be, but it
Who
might be.
hurt
But
you?
we can take this and say that selfies are more prominent in the female community than the dudes, right? I don't know. It's because we kind of laugh at a guy when he takes a selfie, or is it because I don't know. I
We
don't know.
definitely laugh at
I'm
the
gonna-
dudes take selfies.
I'm gonna sway this conversation a little bit. You think you beat up a monkey, bro?
It
What
depends
kind of
which
monkey?
kind.
Like
Yeah.
a chimp?
Nah, bro, ain't happening.
How much a chimp weighs, Miggy?
Pull up that chimp without hair, bro. Plug
Oh,
in the
that-
chimp
oh,
without
no,
hair.
Jack one?
Yeah.
What's his name? Oscar or
He's got a
something?
disorder though.
No, that's
Yeah.
No. He has a
He's got
disorder.
alopecia. That's
No,
what
no,
he
no,
got.
no, no, no.
He
That
got a body
monkey,
alopecia,
that
bro.
monkey that went famous.
It was Oscar. His name was Oscar. or
He's
something.
got a
Images, hit images.
no. He just looked up how much does
Right
a
there, that's him.
chimpanzee
Right
weigh.
there, bro.
No,
Bro,
So-
that's him right there. You ain't beating this guy out. There's
that's
no way.
him.
If that
Ready?
fucking thing came at you, what are you doing?
No. So he's got a genetic disorder that he produces
Called
more
alopecia.
muscle. No. He produces extra muscle. Right. So that's not a normal chimp, bro. Normal chimps aren't that fucking jacked. A
Look-
normal chimp looks like that thing in the corner.
No,
like,
no.
But they're
put
mean,
put in
man.
grown chimp. Put in like an adult chimp, male chimp.
adult male chimp or whatever.
Bro, some things are so mean.
Yeah, pull that one up right there. No, not that one. The one in the middle with the black coat, like that one. That thing looks mean, bro. Like they're known to
Nah,
like.
but just look at the average picture. Go to the left.
Talk about sociopaths. Those things have no.
All right.
Like,
So that thing weighs how much, Miggy?
Bro, you want me
I
to?
think it's still like.
I don't know. Let
130.
me eye it out like 70
No.
pounds.
How much was the average? It said you looked it up earlier, fucker. Come on.
I think it's still like. I think it's still to get around 130, but I feel like
130?
it's
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think it actually like between 1 and 130, right?
But
So
they've done the
so
research.
they got
where-
like 5 times the muscle.
between
um,
88 and 130 pounds is a male
yeah,
chimp.
but they've done the.
All right, if it's
seen the-
130 pounds, yeah, you're fucked.
Yeah, but they've done this whole thing where chimps will gather together and then they'll go and
like chimp
beat
empire.
up the
You seen that?
beat up the next tribe over and literally
Yeah.
like lynch them
They
and
go to
hang them
war,
up and go
and
to
they're
war and
mean,
shit.
bro.
Yeah.
They don't just like come over there. They get weapons. They'll like grab like the little babies and just like do that Hulk smash. shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's fucked up.
I've seen that.
I've started
Actually.
seeing videos. I'm like, cause I've always like, I don't know if it's just me, but sometimes I look at animals like, how would I kill that thing if it was mad at me?
If it was mad at
If
me,
it like came at me, how would I kill that thing? And like, I saw some videos of chimps, bro. They're mean, way meaner than you think,
Yeah.
bro. I don't know.
I've heard of monkeys like ripping people's faces.
Like you probably
off
couldn't
and
wrist
stuff.
lock it. It'd probably just be like you could probably break the thing's wrist and it'd just still be.
You'd
coming
have
at
to
you.
choke it
Yeah.
out. You'd have to choke it out.
So
Yeah,
I
I'll
think
get back.
what made us the apex predators.
So I'm
because-
hitting the duck under, and I'm gonna go a little seatbelt. I'm gonna get my freaking backpack on.
You think Zach would pull a guard on him? Since he
Zach
said
would,
boxing
Zach
don't
would
work?
probably pull guard on him. Maybe invert. Probably motivate him to invert.
That chip's
Go
gonna
for the-
bite
go
your
for
ass
that
when
knee
when
bar.
Yeah.
you go to invert. He's gonna literally take a chunk out
That
of
thing
your ass
starts
cheek.
biting his ass cheeks. He'd be fine. He'll get over that.
But like,
Get him some amoxicillin. We'd be good.
It's like, oh, Zach, why can't you sit down, man? I heel hooked the chip, bro.
well, like the
I had to heel hook the
I
chip.
won.
bro.
I won though. We
Yeah,
have to get him his own medal.
he ain't walking too well either.
lions and fucking polar bears will do the same shit when they come in. Like the younger lion or bear wins the, like he's the head of the pride. They'll destroy all the babies and just like
Yeah, like the
mate
other,
with the.
which is fuck. That's so. You know who got a savage life, man? Or fish. I
Why
don't
you
think
say
fish. I don't think fish grow old, bro.
Some fish grow really
Because
old.
there's always a bigger fish, and you're always like being hunted. You can't sleep.
That's true. That's true. As a fish, that shit
Like
sucks.
they don't
There's
build
always a bigger
shelter.
fish.
Like they'll hide in shelter, but there's always something coming through there. Like I don't know how many. And what happens when the fish? You start getting old and you get slow. You're just gonna be the first one. You know what I mean? I don't think it's a savage life.
No, I mean, a lot of fish usually just like keep growing. Like
This dude
for
just
example,
target practicing on these things.
No, I think
What
he's
is this?
trying to get a monkey.
This is
or
a
something.
this is a video of a police officer that was called in, and the owner told him to kill it because it attacked.
Well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sit them both down and figure out who was right and who was wrong.
Oh, they
That's what we're gonna handle that
you're
situation.
gonna do that debate with
Yeah.
the, with
Monkey,
the chimp
your
and
turn,
the owner.
monkey.
I'll be like, you know,
They
you
blurred-
can see he's naked.
they
he's
blurred
not
what
armed.
happened, but we know what happened.
And that's the sad thing. Like I'm gonna make sure that monkey, like,
I saw a really
Maybe
weird
I got
video.
Fair trial.
yeah,
This shit was crazy.
innocent till proven guilty, bro.
Have
This-
you seen the kangaroos? One, forget the monkeys. Pull up a grown kangaroo, bro.
Oh yeah, that one flexing.
Yeah, the one flexing.
Yeah.
I saw this crazy video.
You
This
seen
cop
the one that fought the guy? Did you see the guy that fought one?
Oh yeah, he decked that,
old
shit.
school
Yeah,
viral
yeah.
video. That was funny.
He's holding his fucking dog in like a bulldog choke almost. He just goes over and decks that shit.
Look
The
at-
best part is in the videos when you can
Oh,
see when the
Joey.
guy walks up, he squares up. The dude puts his fucking hands up and decks the kangaroo, bro.
That's it right there.
Yeah,
That's so funny.
bro, those fucking claws though, that's crazy.
Go, like,
Oh my god, look at those claws.
Oh wow. Thanks for
Thanks,
giving me
Chewy.
audio. I did not ask for that.
it's Chewy. By the way, it's projected that
Shameless
Chewy's gonna be-
plug.
Fuck
Yeah,
Chewy.
you.
They I'm sorry, but they set me up on a 12-month auto ship, and 8 months later I got hit, and I'm like, I don't need more product, and you guys just charged me
And
$300.
that's how they climbed the ranking, bro.
Well, they're saying that Chewy's gonna be one of the next companies that's gonna hit like billions and billions of dollars, because like people in overall in the world are not having kids, so they're just being like single
Dog parents.
dog parents, basically. Yeah.
You know, it'd be freaking crazy if you could do like an online, like, can you do online vet visits yet? Have them ship the pharmaceuticals.
Look at the biceps on that thing. Look at the forearms, bro.
But this isn't the one though.
I'd almost like wonder like what that would make, like a kangaroo bred with a dog.
Nah, that's not the one.
That's the one I'm talking about.
No. There's a
No, there's
better
another
one.
one.
This is the
There's a
one-
better one. This fucking kangaroo literally has his motherfucking
Look
like in
at
a.
him, bro.
my
Look at
God.
him. He just
This is the
flexed
one.
it.
This is the one
He
Shane
splashed
Gillis talked
on
about in his
it.
special.
You try to blind him with the water.
Instead of dirt.
Oh, Shane Gillis talking about the.
Yeah.
It's just hilarious.
And this is not a small dog. It's a freaking Akita. And
Look
those
up
are
man
pretty,
Dex
solid
kangaroo.
Dogs.
There's an
It's
older
kinda
video.
crazy.
That one.
Yeah,
That's
this
This is the one, bro.
This
This
is
is the
it.
one.
Think about like animals, bro. There's a lot of animals that can murk us, bro. It's like,
Like a giraffe would like fuck you up.
yeah.
No, this,
Hey,
this isn't the
hey.
one, man. There's a second. Yeah,
No,
this is
this
the one.
this one. This one went viral back in the day.
Yeah, look at him. He's got him. He's got. He squares up. Bing.
He's get the fuck out.
Why does that guy look like he gave up? Like he
He's like, I didn't expect that.
Bro, bro said,
Ain't that shit? Just stood there looking at him, bro.
the nerve, bro. He's like, oh.
I'm out.
You
I'm
think
out.
he's like
Fuck this.
concussed? You think he got him?
Look at him. He's just like looking around. I don't know what to do.
This
I
motherfucker.
don't think so. I think that kangaroo was like, do it again. I'm gonna
Dude, I
fucking
dare
kill
you.
you.
Do it again.
Yeah,
Do
do
it
it again.
Fuck everybody in this club. Wait,
Yeah.
wait for it.
Oh my
First
god.
time, shame on you. Second time, it'll be shame on me. We're not gonna let that
And
happen.
the funny part was, like, growing up, I thought kangaroos were so cool, man, with the little pouch and shit. Now I just know they're ruthless. And like apparently,
that's
if you
what's
talk to
next, man.
Australians, they'll tell you, yeah, they're fucking mean.
That's what's next, bro. Because like, where do you go from BKFC? This is what's next, bro. Like,
Just decking
either like humans versus like an animal. Like, who's gonna win? Mike Perry versus
I think that's where you would have an issue with what's it called? Like the
FEMA or not FEMA, PETA.
Do you think
Probably both. Somehow.
all of the above.
unless it's in Russia, right? Then you get Khabib and fighting bears. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
and that's
They can
okay.
do it. You know.
No
Yeah, that's what it's
no
about. It's
wonder.
about finding the first state to legalize it.
Is this why
to Fight
Volkanovski's so
Island.
good?
Huh?
Is this why Volkanovski?
He wrestles
so good?
kangaroos.
That'd be hilarious, man.
So what? Okay, let's
So I
talk.
gotta get my kids fighting alligators. We're gonna
That's the Florida way.
yeah, that's the Florida
Boy,
way.
crikey.
Go start off with some baby alligators.
But just we're talking about fighters. What did you think about the O'Malley and
Oh boy,
Marab fight?
Oh,
Not about his interview at the end because nobody understood what he was trying to say.
yeah, we kind of gave up. We're like, all right, cool, you're champ, bro. Let's move on. Man, that's so hard to. I don't know what it is about like how do I feel about the fight itself, or how do
Yeah.
I feel about the people?
Because how do you feel about the fight? Because afterwards,
rather-
O'Malley came out. I don't know if it was a joke or it was being serious when he's like, I won 1, 3, and 5 rounds. After watching a couple of times, I won the rounds 1, 3, and 5. That's what he was
I
saying.
saw him post today
So-
that he was trolling the shit out of him. He was saying, "Yeah, man, I got hip surgery on October 3rd, but I'm still here training in the gym. You know, getting that work in, revisiting the fights and learning from my mistakes. You know, and so he runs up to the bag and grabs it and just like throws these like baby knees at it. And the caption was on the learning some significant strikes. You know, because there was a lot of that time in that fight. He had him on the cage and just kneeing his quad.
That's what bugs me about that sport is like significant strikes. Like,
Who judges that?
how do you judge that? Yeah, and it seems like very biased. Like a lot of fights, I swear, like I'm watching, and I'm like, that dude is landing good combos. Like he'll land. I see so many fights. Someone lands 3-piece combos, and then it's like the guy hits back, like, ooh, nice jab by so, and that's a significant strike, but the combo ain't.
Yeah.
With that fight, I think like Marab did it. I mean, he did what he had to do.
I
to
believe he
win.
won, yeah.
I think he won for sure. Like he definitely won. I think something was up with O'Malley's look flat, so maybe his hips were messed up because he was flat.
I don't know. My only question there is that maybe he did have an injury, whatever. I also think that he had to be more conservative due to the fact that he's fighting an extremely strong wrestler.
And
you know,
he kept Marab back a lot. Like Marab didn't fight as aggressive as he normally fights, which shows
No.
that Marab had respect
for his hands, yeah.
And I think, O'Malley, there was times where O'Malley was tagging him, and it seemed like when O'Malley was pushing
Yeah.
is when he was doing the best, which was kind of like we thought the opposite. We thought O'Malley's going to catch him on the back foot.
Right,
Like-
with the counter punching.
And it's like almost like Marab didn't play that game. O'Malley was like, I'm going in, and everyone's like, well, that's when you're going to get taken down.
right.
But it was like the opposite. And then I follow like the fight camps. Like I like to watch their fight camps, and like, I follow a lot of those coaches too. Tim Welch said after the fight that Marab, they trained a lot of that single leg, and Marab shot mostly doubles. So that kind of threw them off a little bit, which kind of think like, what's a double? Like that's usually you're either going to catch them straight down the pipe, knee, uppercuts. You're going to start throwing stuff like that to get them off you. Doesn't seem like a huge correction, but maybe at that level, it's just, enough to throw you off or throw off your game
And I
plan.
think if you're wrestling a guy like Marab, you're gonna train every defense.
Yeah, and I was kind of like hoping, like, because I watched before the fight, they're like, we got a couple of special tricks from Marab. So I was like, what I was thinking was when Poirier fought Saint Denis, Poirier kept threatening the guillotine. The
Yeah.
guillotine kept, even though he wasn't getting them, he was like threatening them.
Right.
I thought they were gonna come up with something like that because I've seen O'Malley do guillotines on like wrestlers and stuff like
Yeah.
that and train them. Like they're probably gonna keep his head on the outside, which might
Isn't-
be why Marab shot the double.
Isn't that how he got Gomi? When he grappled Gomi?
I think, did he finish it?
I thought he did.
He might have.
I think he did. I'm not sure. Maybe mistaken. I feel like I remember seeing. But I watched that match recently, and Gomi shot a takedown. He went for a guillotine, if I'm not mistaken.
So what do you think now? Do you think Khabib's cousin
Umar.
I think he's got it. I do. I think that like that dude's. Man. Marab taking out Henry Cejudo is like pretty sick. Like that's a pretty big accomplishment,
100%.
especially like what was it, 6 times
Yeah,
in
yeah.
that fight, and they weren't like just like, oh, I worked them down. It's like a couple of them were nice.
He slammed him once.
So I think Usman's got a better hit, and I don't think Usman I don't think you're gonna ground and pound him. I just don't see it.
Umar.
Or, I'm
Usman
sorry.
is the
Is it
cousin.
Umar Nurmagomedov?
Umar is the cousin.
Dude, I've been saying Usman.
He has Usman.
guilty.
Usman is his brother, the one that's the Bellator champ.
Isn't that the same one?
No, Umar fights UFC. Usman is a Bellator champion.
Okay.
He has his brother Usman, and then the cousin Umar.
We need Jamie on this. Can you show me a picture, bro? Not that I don't believe you. I just got like, I've been saying Usman.
Yeah, that's Usman. That's the one that fights
Got
in Bellator.
you.
Yeah.
So I've been switching them up. I do.
I
that.
think
I'm
they're
horrible with
young
names.
enough where they got the taste of that, Dagestan wrestling, but then at the same time they were young enough where like striking was also a thing. Because if you remember when Khabib,
Umar.
Umar and Umar. Yeah,
Umar
makes sense.
Nurmagomedov.
Yeah.
You know how to
Yeah,
spell
that's him. Yep.
Nurmagomedov?
yeah, so I think what happened is like, because remember
I was
when
thinking
Khabib
Usman.
first got into the cage, he didn't know how to strike. Like his striking was shit. But I think these kids, they're already coming up because he's young enough where they coming up. We're like, okay, it's not just the wrestling. We're gonna concentrate on wrestling because we're good at this shit, but we're gonna teach you also how to strike.
Right.
You can kind of see a little bit more in
He's 28.
in Makhachev's fighting
Yeah,
style,
Islam.
right?
I think that's what you saw with Islam was the striking develop out of that camp.
I think what's his name? Khabib's hands got good.
Yeah.
Much
I-
better, yeah.
Super underrated.
Yeah.
I think he outstruck Connor most of it, like most of that fight.
He did get clipped once in that fight. He
Mhm.
did get clipped once, good, but then I don't know if it's his chin, it's his neck. I don't know what it is because Connor people fall or they buckle the minute Connor tags like that. But
Yeah.
he kind of wobbled, but he didn't buckle.
Who do you think's gonna win?
Umar versus Marab. I think Umar will take it. I think that
If he goes straight to wrestling, it's gonna be hard. But I don't think it's gonna.
I
go
don't think
straight
it
to
will.
wrestling.
You have two grapplers, high level grapplers going against each other. Most of the time in MMA, that results in a hand brawl.
And the thing that makes me think is like, so Marab is like, he's not a finisher.
He's
Which
not.
Zach pointed out to me, Zach Allen pointed out to me, and I was like, damn, I didn't even notice that he's not a finisher.
No.
And he's like a high paced guy, kind of like Colby Covington, like kind of similar to that, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, so he's gonna win by points, and that guy's gonna try to win by finish.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's like a weird game because is he gonna end up down on rounds because he's going for finishes, which is gonna give that guy points? Because I feel like if you go for a finish, you don't get it, that guy's gonna get points.
Yeah.
That's like so I don't know. I hope it's Umar. I think he's a beast. Marab's style, like I think like it's respectable, but I don't think it's like anything people are like dying to watch.
No, not at all. It's not very
Right.
entertaining whatsoever. Striking's not really all there. He doesn't have the submission game to finish people, and that's exciting for us. So really, all you're watching is a guy that knows how to take people down and punch the shit out of
Like a
them.
flea, like a little powerful flea jumping
Yeah.
around, like just
Yeah.
taking people down. Or
Well,
whatever.
I give it to them. Whoever the coaches, the team, the camp, I give it to them because they know. Okay, we know he's not a finisher. We know he's not a striker. So what we're gonna do? We're just gonna make him the best. Like be good at striking and like trying to finish, but then like be great at like taking people down and get the points. So they're like contrary. Because I was talking to Dorian Price, and he was saying that. A lot of people say, well, I can't kick high, right? He goes, I was never a good high kicker, so I learned how to kick low, and then I learned how to throw my knees and elbows, right? So it's like you have to adapt to the game, right? I don't know. I think it's just gonna depend. But if you're go ahead.
Well, I think that, like, to your point, I think there's trends. Like, I mean, there's definitely, in my opinion, there's trends where like wrestling gets like really, like starts seeing a lot more good wrestling and takedowns and ground and pound, and then eventually like it trends towards like calf kicks, and then eventually it trends towards like you start seeing these new like techniques come into the game.
Johnny Walker.
Johnny Walker stuff, and it's like if you
just running through the cage.
and if you like don't adapt to those trends, I think some people kind of get stuck in their ways.
Why do you, as an
Because like
MMA
stepping on
fighter,
toes was a big thing, right? And
Yeah.
oh, they're stepping on toes. Now
Toe
everybody's
stomps,
stepping on
right?
stumps.
Yeah,
why is it that you, as an MMA fighter yourself, do you think that because I've noticed a trend where calf kicks always seem to be very prevalent with good calf kickers in the start of the fight. As the fight goes on, they start to drop off a lot of times. Why do you think that is?
well, if you start getting checked, that starts adding up on you too.
Right.
So if they start catching on, you landed a few times, and it's good, but they start catching on, they start looking for it, they start checking it, then you're hurting the shit out of your shin.
Right.
So there's that, and then a lot of times, like, I mean, you can like calf kicks. I feel like would be used for setting stuff up. Like it's obviously very effective, and if it's working, go for it. But it's like you can use calf kicks to set up a lot of other strikes, but it's hard to use other strikes to set up calf kicks in my head, my opinion.
Really, I feel like a lot of advice I've heard from strikers is ending every single combination off of a kick.
A little whip at the end.
Yeah.
There's like that. I mean, but like specifically to the calf, or you
In
mean,
general,
like,
just
body
throwing a
shot,
kick,
like body.
yeah.
Like you got Gaethje, who's freaking sick. He can do it like close.
Yeah,
Like,
he's like in
throws
the
a
clinch
combo and he's
he-
like tucked in.
and
He
he
just
throws a leg
throws
kick,
a
yeah.
little whack like down there. I mean, it's an interesting question, but I think it starts adding up on yourself too.
It's the checks when
It's
people
like
start just
getting
catching.
checked a lot, yeah. Because, I mean, look at like who we got, Chris Weidman now, Anderson Silva. Those were calf kicks, right?
Yeah, so was Connors.
And Connors.
Connors was a calf kick as well.
So if you were to pick right now, we just went over this couple episodes back. If you were to pick right now, well, who do you think is
Top 3 active fighters.
yeah top 3?
John Jones.
Gotta have 2 more.
Pulled a Dana White. Well, first I have to put John Jones, undisputed, unquestionable. Now, right now, like pound for pound ever, or pound for pound right now?
Who do you think are the best active fighters currently active in the UFC?
Can we pull up a list of like the top right now?
Yeah, we
'Cause
can
I don't
do
want to be
it.
disrespectful.
All the rankings are on the pound. They
I
have
think-
a pound for pound top 15.
like active fighters right now, right?
yeah, have to be active. Have to be active.
There we go. Athlete ranking, perfect. Oh man,
So that list on the left is the pound for pound. So that has all of the weight classes.
you got to
in it.
put Pereira up there, right? I mean,
That's what
I
I'm saying.
I didn't put him on my list just because I don't believe he's a well-rounded enough to be on my list.
he finds, yeah, and I'm never usually like this, but he's one of them guys that always finds a way.
Yeah.
Like,
No. So
when
this
he
is
was
what I-
fighting Yuri, he was getting beat, and then
Yes.
he beat Yuri. When he fought Izzy, every fight with Izzy, he's getting his ass whooped. Figures it out, like he just out toughs him or something.
The other fight where he said, "Hold on, let me cook. Don't stop
that
the
was
fight."
that was legendary too,
Yes.
man.
Was
He
it
and,
Jamal Hill was it?
Jamal Hill.
and the other thing I got to give him props on is multiple weight classes. Like that dude's like what? He has a potential to be a 3 weight class champ.
Yeah, at
That's
this
pretty
point,
sick.
Yeah.
Like that's not easy.
Well, they were saying that he was
Hasn't been done.
too heavy and too big for the Izzy's 182, right? So that's why
185.
he wanted
He
Izzy.
did it, and he did it.
wanted Izzy.
Fought his way to a championship.
So I would say, I mean, I don't know if you even can consider John Jones active. You know,
That's actually a great point.
because man,
He
this
hasn't
is
fought in 2
this
years,
is
man.
tougher than I thought. So I want to see the list because you
Yeah.
got Tom Aspinall right now killing it. Who's,
That's very, very easily could be on my top. It wasn't on my top 3 when I made mine, but very easily.
If
could
you
be.
if somebody would take John Jones, I think that would be Tom Aspinall. And as a matter of fact, I think if they both fought right now, Tom Aspinall probably would mop the floor with John Jones right
I
now.
feel like he's got it too.
Mhm.
I think a lot of people. Feel
I think
that
this
way.
Stipe fight is such a gimmick, man.
Yeah, and it's just weird. Like, when has John Jones ever been like this? Like, when has he ever been like, I'm not gonna fight that guy. I don't care what you say.
Yeah.
Like, hasn't he always been like the lion?
Yeah.
Like, he's always been like, I don't care. Kind of like I don't care who or
Why is he not
whoever's
wanna
coming
fight
up.
him?
He's been like prey. Like, he's looked at everyone like prey, and for whatever reason, he's like dead set on Stipe, who hasn't fought in forever, older than him.
Why does he not want to fight Aspinall? What's the deal?
Because he wants in his
He-
words, he wants the legacy fight with Stipe, the best heavyweight of all time.
But I mean, dude,
I mean,
would-
we saw what
I'd be
Aspinall
afraid
did
of
to
Aspinall.
Blades, right? Like he pieced them
And
apart.
Pavlovich.
And Pavlovich.
all of them, dude. I don't know.
And the
where do you
best
put-
part is that his best attribute is actually his grappling in that sense, whereas jiu-jitsu is like out of this world.
So where would you put like Ilya?
Topuria, I think it's
definitely-
one of top 3 for me.
Definitely well rounded. I mean, if I'm going well rounded, it's
That's
so,
where I'm going. So don't think about the fights they've
Dominant.
won, the fights they've lost. Don't think about. You look at the fighter and the performances that you've seen out of them. Who's your top 3?
Ilya looks like fucking so well rounded. His hands are great.
And his
Islam,
jiu-jitsu is fucking
Islam's got to
amazing.
be up there. I
Yeah.
feel like he's another really well-rounded person. And dude, I almost want to say like you got to put Tom Aspinall.
Holloway's got to be there too. You know, I don't.
Holloway, yeah,
After that last performance, I put Holloway on my top 3.
on your top 3.
I did because I said John Jones, Islam Makhachev, and specifically
What
after
kind of
that
ground
last.
game have we seen out of him?
That's something there. That's something there. But he does.
Ilya, we've seen ground and pound. We've seen submissions. We've seen knockouts. Islam, pretty much the same. We've seen ground and pound. We've seen knockouts. We've seen stand up. Holloway, we've just seen a shit ton of stand up, which he's got some of the best hands in the game,
Yeah.
right? But we haven't.
But I feel like
seen-
one of the reasons we've seen that also is because of his takedown defense, right?
Yeah, there's
so
something to say
no
for
one's
that.
able to implement their grappling because they can't take him down.
When do they fight? In October.
Yeah, they
shit.
fight soon, man.
So that's
They
one
fight
thing
real
I
soon.
like. I've been liking to do is like every major UFC event do like our predictions.
Yeah.
I can't
So
wait for that.
we can do that. We could do that. What? So we got Topuria Holloway. I'm going Holloway.
You are.
I'm
Yeah.
going to Puri on this.
I hope Holloway.
Only. If I didn't see that performance out of Max Holloway against Justin, I would have went to Puria. But after I saw what he did against Gaethje, I can't deny it. I can't deny that, man. I didn't. Not that I didn't see him winning that fight. I did not see him winning the way he did. 5 rounds to none, and then knocks him out in the last second. I can't deny that performance.
Mine.
Yeah, but the Gaethje's a striker, man. Topuria is not just a striker. You know, this is what
Gaethje's
I'm
an
saying.
American wrestler,
He's
right?
gonna engage. Yeah.
But he doesn't go to the ground. ever.
Yeah,
No,
Gaethje's
doesn't.
a wrestler, but he doesn't go. I think he did shoot takedowns on Max though.
I feel like my heart wants Holloway, but Toporia's probably got this in my head.
Whatever. Who's next?
No, I mean I wouldn't put a dime on either. That's for sure.
I'm gonna bet on whichever one's underdog.
Who's
for
on
sure.
that card, Miggy? Can you see?
Have they announced the full card? yet?
308. Just do UFC 308.
Google will
can't.
show it. Google will show it. If you literally just type UFC, they put all of their stuff. Don't even put the 308 part. Because Google has all their events like on a listing pre-made to their page. Yeah, exactly that.
There you go. Topuria, Holloway.
Whitaker
you
and
know.
Hamza.
I'm thinking
Ooh,
Whitaker.
That's this one, huh? Fuck, man.
Rob looked great against.
love Hamza. What do you guys
against
think?
who was it?
I like Hamza, but he gets too cocky for his thing. Like he's Chechen. I think he's Chechen. I think
yeah,
it's
he's from
like
Chechnya.
stick with your like. You guys are not supposed to be fun. You're supposed to be very serious.
I love
you
that
know?
savage mentality. So, man, I gotta remember this for when I cover it. But like, I feel like it's gonna be a night of like people I want to win, lose.
I think Ankalaev got this against Rakic.
So do I.
Yeah.
Sharapov.
Sharapuda. What is it?
They call him
Sharapudin.
Shara Bullet or whatever.
Yeah.
Against Petrosian. I think Shara Bullet's gonna get that.
Yep.
Then, damn, that would have been a great fight. Cyril Gane versus Alexander Volkov has been canceled. I would have gone Cyril on that one.
You know who's really good? That Russian guy that fights like completely like out of pocket fighting style. He's got long curly hair. Like he'll be throwing these punches that are like out of nowhere that come through. What's his name? You
I
know
don't
what I'm
know.
talking
There's a
about?
lot of them now.
Yeah, a lot of
like they're
Russians
taking
around.
over, bro.
No, this kid is like apparently he did some sort of like some sort of a crazy martial art that I've never heard of, and he'll just throw these random punches and kicks out of nowhere, like out of most.
The sad part
angles.
about this kid, man, is the UFC signed him and he'll never fight in the US.
Who, this guy?
Yeah, he's blind in one eye.
So they don't let him over here?
No commission will
Is that-
allow that guy fight.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, the UFC's
Which
all
I
over
think
the
is
world
funny
now, right?
'cause
So-
I
Do you know
heard
Jordan Vinnick?
I heard Bisping talking shit, and he was like, "Fuck that, man! They're letting this guy fight, and they were
That's-
giving me a bunch of bullshit back in the day."
That's funny. Type in Jordan Vinnick. Sorry.
Bennett.
No, Vinnick.
Oh, Vinnick.
Alex is like Alex Perez is like Goku. He gets his ass kicked to beat you, lol.
Just to write up. It's probably spelled a different way. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know if it would come up.
Did
I
you
think
do
it's spelled
UFC?
kind of a funky way.
Vernick.
No,
Just
there's
do
gonna be
UFC, add UFC.
I think this dude has potential if we can find him.
To-
Not to be GOAT or like
How did it
pound
go
for pound.
to Jordan Frank? I don't get it.
Went to Frank Mir.
It's okay. I just thought maybe you could pull him up. He was like he came over from like I want to say like an Irish fighting promotion, but for whatever reason I've been following him through his career. And now I saw him on like the last UFC, he got like the call and he's like short notice showed up Came in, well-rounded dude. And
It was a recent event.
yeah,
Jordan is his first name.
Vanek with an A, maybe.
but I think I'm going to make the prediction this guy does a good job. That's him. No, top left, they do all the tats. That dude. Jordan Vucenic. Sorry.
Oh, good.
I'm so bad with names, dude. I've always been this way, and I've tried my ass off to like little practices to like.
I don't
remember
think
names.
anybody really is good with names.
I'm
bro.
not good with names at all.
Really?
So bad. I'd be at work sometimes, and after I literally introduce myself to someone, I'm like, I'm sorry, what's your name
I'm
again?
predicting that guy works his way up the ranks. He's really well rounded. He's got good Muay Thai, and he's got like a really good build for like that weight class.
What weight class does he fight at?
I want to say he's feather or light. I forget.
Okay. Looks
He's
like
tall. He's
He
taller
looks
than
like
he
a
looks.
looks like a big guy. No, that wasn't him. Vucenic, remember?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, we're getting towards the end here. We don't want to keep you for too long, man. We know it's kind of late, so
Gotta get back to them kids.
yeah.
Lightweight.
So,
Lightweight. Okay, 155.
yeah, 155. So
I do think at one point in his career he was 145. So he just fought just recently, August 3rd. Oh, he lost to decision.
yeah. Well,
I still think he's good. I think he's
he's got a lot of submission wins.
yeah, so he's got good jiu-jitsu too.
He's got 4 submission wins under Cage Warriors. So yeah, which
Cage
is that
Warriors, where he came from.
Irish, right?
So
that's
yeah,
where
right here
Connor
he's got
came
Paul
from.
Hughes and all them. And then he lost it.
Try.
I'm keeping my eye. I'm just like saying that's like someone I'll keep my eye on. I think he's really well rounded. I know he took that fight on short notice,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Oh, that was during the
Sandhagen.
Sanhagen-Nurmagomedov event.
Yeah,
I thought that was a fight Sanhagen should have not taken. I think he should have held off on the title. He was well entitled to a title shot, I thought.
yeah.
All right. Thank you, man, for coming on. I appreciate meeting you, Kevin, and you coming
Yeah.
to the podcast. We really appreciate that, man.
Of course, guys. Thanks
so-
for having me.
Yeah, anytime you'd like to come back on, just communicate yourself with Jay, man. We'd love to bring you on, keep talking. So we appreciate it again. Thank you, man.
We'll wait until we get some more Diddy information out.
Yeah, we'll refresh on the Diddy.
I'm your guy.
on the Diddy news.
I'll get well educated.
All right, so guys, tune in for the next podcast with Kevin because it's going to be about Diddy. No, Thank you, guys.
I'm bringing him.
yeah, no, not in my house.
we'll FaceTime.
Not in my house, bro.
Oh,
Diddy's
FaceTime
gonna
him.
invite you, and you gotta say no.
Thank you for coming on, man. Thank you for everyone in the chat today that engage with us. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, guys. Go check out Kevin's YouTube. That'll be in the subscription. Check out our official sponsors,
Roman
UFC Gym
Kopylov.
Largo
I think that's
and
the one.
Pinellas
Kopylov.
Park and Vitality Wellness Center. Besides that, see you guys next week. Thank you.
Peace.
Peace.
We gotta
I think Roman Kopylov. I think that's the one.